Hi, I'm John Clements.
And I'm Marianne Moran.
We're the proud co-principals of Nipmuc Regional High School in Upton, Massachusetts. We're excited to take a few minutes to share Nipmuc's journey to reimagine school with you. Our school story begins with a great deal of pride and excitement about the work of our students and teachers. We also have a sense of pride for the work that takes place in schools all across Massachusetts, which has established itself as a national and international leader in education. Now, with the Kaleidoscope Collective, a new day is dawning, and Massachusetts has the chance once again to be a leader in education as it charts a new course to the future of schools and learning. We're grateful for the leadership of our commissioner, who is prompting us to embrace a new vision for learning, one that encourages us to pursue deeper learning.
As many of us remember, when we were in school, information and knowledge came from books, school, television. This is no longer the case now that we're living in the digital age. All of the world's information is at our and our children's fingertips. The world outside of school is changing at exponential rates. It's our job to adapt to these changes within our schools as well. It is exciting to be a part of a district, both as an administrator and a parent, that is embracing this challenge. We are fortunate to have talented educators and forward-thinking students that embrace the growth mindset. We have a common understanding of our why, our purpose, our call to action. We are part of a district and community with a willingness to get actionable, to reimagine our schools to meet the needs of our learners.
Our work to reimagine school begins by tapping into the voices of our students. At Nipmuc, we have embraced this opportunity by creating forums that allow us to capture students' perspectives in order to shape the future of our school. One of these forums is Food for Thought Lunches. At Food for Thought Lunches, we pull together small groups of students and teachers to gather for lunch and conversation. These events give us the chance to connect, build relationships, and engage in conversation about our school's programming, curriculum, and opportunities. Not only do we talk about students' perspectives, but we also capture all of their ideas digitally. This allows us to create word clouds that easily share the ideas and themes that are most important to our students.
What if the leadership of this work to reimagine schools wasn't left to a few, but was open to all students and all educators who are passionate about this work? At Nipmuc Regional, we have reimagined the traditional leadership structure to do much of this critical work in decision-making in our Lead Learner workshops. Held monthly, students and educators engage in conversation, collaboration, and planning together. Lead Learner workshops hold some of the most exciting and powerful leadership moments each year.
Another avenue by which we capture the perspective of students is through the Shadow a Student Challenge. This gives teachers a chance to walk a mile in the shoes of our students. Each year, many of our educators sign up to spend a school day shadowing one of our learners, sometimes even going as far as catching the bus to school with them in the morning. During the shadowing experience, they take part in classes, activities, breaks, and lunches just like all of our students. It provides them lasting takeaways that make an impact on teaching and learning.
Imagine the talents and passions that all of our students have. Imagine if they were given the opportunity to take these talents and passions and become the teachers, sharing their ideas with their peers and educators. At Nipmuc, students have taken their lunch blocks to teach us about sign language, opera singing, and ancestry. Lunch and Learns reinforce the idea that we are all learners.
The impact of all of these opportunities is to gain a deep understanding of the perspectives, curiosities, and passions of everyone in our school community. These activities allow us to move away from a culture of teaching which defined schools of the previous generation to become cultures of learning.
2 years ago, the district engaged in the strategic planning process, resulting in an aspirational vision for school and learning. At the same time, Nipmuc engaged in a collaborative process to articulate our beliefs about learning, definition of learning, and our call to action. Through the process and our guiding documents, we now have our compass, our North Star, to guide our work as we reimagine school.
A cornerstone of the new vision of school that we are building can be found in our district's Portrait of a Learner. Defined by our community, the Portrait of a Learner identifies the skills, knowledge, and dispositions students need for success in the world beyond our classrooms. The Portrait of a Learner identifies 6 competencies, including being inspired innovators, skillful collaborators, effective communicators, mindful learners, solution seekers, and global citizens. These skills complement the important work that takes place in English, math, science, history, world language, and across the curriculum.
We are believers in moving quickly from idea to action. Who better to lead the work of defining what the portrait of the learner looks like in action than our learners themselves? Last year, students, graduates, and educators came together and created a reflective tool focused not on traditional assessment, but rather on new metrics of success, on individual growth and reflection. Students have put this tool to use by reflecting on their most powerful learning experiences and connecting them to the portrait of the learner. This process has helped guide the creation of our Portrait of a Learner Scholars program.
In the personal narratives of our Portrait of a Learner Scholars, we find stories that inspire. Stories like that of Evan, who overcame health challenges to become a mindful learner, or Rachel, who uses the example of her grandmother in her own work as a solution seeker. Stories like that of Alex, who became a skillful collaborator through his exploration of digital communities, or Brett, who learned to communicate through his love of culinary arts. Stories like that of Leah, who found personal strength in the ability to rely on herself by overcoming the challenges of her life, or that of Salvana, whose experience with debate helped her to grow into a global citizen. The Portrait of a Learner Scholars program celebrates not only these 6 students or their fellow scholars, but also all of the 650 students at Nipmuc and the 2,302 students in Menden-Upton. Our scholars highlight our belief that every student has a story to tell beyond their success with traditional test scores and the grades on a report card.
Just over a week ago, our students had the opportunity to participate in the Inspired Learning Day. At Nipmuc, this was our 9th Inspired Learning Day. Without some of the traditional structures that usually define our days, students are able to engage in learning that was designed alongside their teachers, help them practice their Portrait of a Learner skills, connected to the world beyond our classrooms, and was, of course, a whole lot of fun. This type of learning exists beyond Inspired Learning Days as well. At Nipmuc, we embrace the mindset of what could be possible. Over the course of the last 3 years, students have had the opportunity to engage in a course called Legacy that embraces students' interests and passions, a course in which students co-construct their curriculum, where they are given agency, encouraged to engage in deep inquiry, and find work with connections and impact beyond our school campus.
What we find in Inspired Learning Days in the Legacy program is that learning should be an adventure. It should be fun, memorable, responsive to students' interest, connected to the real world, and perhaps life-changing. With this in mind, Nipmuc is building what we call learning adventures, project-based learning experiences that extend beyond the classroom. Whether climbing a mountain, learning to sail, or whatever adventure awaits, we are helping students to create learning experiences that connect the curriculum to the real world and create powerful moments of learning.
With a generous grant from the Menden-Upton Education Foundation and in support of the ideals behind learning adventures, we have created a district-wide learning adventure team made up of students and educators from elementary, middle, and high school. Together this year, the team will design and carry out a collaborative learning adventure. We are excited about the opportunity to further explore the skills embedded in our Portrait of a Learner and to celebrate the idea that we are all learners together. As part of this team, we introduced our youngest learners to the idea of Portrait of a Learner as superpowers. What if our students knew with confidence that they would be equipped with the superpowers that would help them tackle any problems, chase after their dreams, and find success in the world beyond our schools?
The ideas we are putting into action find their roots in research, scholarship, and literature. In the pages of these books, we find ideas that spark powerful conversations across our community. In a grant-supported effort, we are excited to share these ideas with our community through the Inspired Learning Library, a collection of thought-provoking resources that are available to anyone in the community. Read a book, get inspired by a new idea, and share the book with a friend or neighbor. Help us to keep the conversation about the future of school going.
These incredible opportunities for our students exist in and beyond our classrooms. Every day, our educators are working with students to develop learning experiences that challenge them to partner with businesses to solve real-world problems, expand their horizons as they travel to other countries, engage in interdisciplinary learning experiences, and focus on learning that is rooted in personal growth, developing the skills for their futures, and inspiring our next generation of learners.
As we complete the whirlwind tour of the programs and activities at Nipmuc, we want to return to our why and remember the words of our commissioner, that we can support deeper learning experiences that are more thoughtful, creative, imaginative, exciting, and yes, inspiring.
We are very fortunate to be part of a community which honors the idea that education does not need to have a one-size-fits-all approach, and that embraces the many definitions of success. Just like a kaleidoscope's colors, the vision of the future of learning should celebrate the diversity of our learners' talents, interests, passions, and potential. We are excited to welcome you to our journey because as a community,
We can build the future of school together.